Solipsism. Let's talk about solipsism. The idea that only one's mind is sure to exist. I've received a lot of messages from people who feel like not only is solipsism not true, but it's dangerous. Not only is solipsism not true, but it's actually dangerous. Believing that you're the only conscious being in the universe is dangerous. And that is true. But that doesn't mean that solipsism is not true. What you must realize is that there isn't a way of viewing life that isn't dangerous. Right? There isn't a way of viewing life that isn't dangerous. Could be a Christian. If you are toxic, you can use Christianity to justify your toxicity. There's been a lot of Christians who have done horrible things in the name of God. You don't believe in our God. You are evil, and we must do horrible because we must do horrible things to you because you don't believe in our God. Is it? So I can say that it is dangerous to be a Christian because some Christians, have done horrible things, because they, maybe not really because they believe in Christianity, they're just horrible people. They were just using Christianity to, justify their evil ways. So it doesn't really matter what you believe. You can believe that other people exist and still be a horrible person, and actually be a horrible person because you believe that other people exist. You're like, well, these are people who are conscious. They know what they are doing. Why did they behave this way? I hate how they behaved, and I'm angry at them. And then you find yourself doing horrible things because you've given other people so much power. One of the reasons why if an animal tries to attack you, you probably try to run away or try to avoid it, but you won't be mad at it, right? But if a human tries to attack you, you'll be mad. Why are you trying to attack me? You would even want them to be arrested. Why? Because you've given them so much power. It's not because you want to protect other people. You're like, okay, this person should be arrested because they might attack other people, so this is the right thing, I must report them. So that's the right thing to do. No. You're just angry because you've given them so much power. You believe that they have their own thought, they have their own mind, right? So this person is attacking me because, they're evil, they have their own thoughts, they have their own, you've given them power. But when you look at an animal, you're like, this thing is dumb. It's not conscious, or at least in the same way that I am. So, I mustn't really mind what it does. Ever had a dream where the person that you know was maybe attacking you? And you woke up from that dream and you told them, I had a dream where you attacked me. You weren't even mad at them. Why? I mean, when you believed that they were attacking you, you were mad at them, right? Like, why is this person attacking me? But then after waking up from the dream, you're like, oh, it was just a dream. So this person didn't attack me at all. And you tell them and you laugh about that. But if you believe it was real, if you believe that it really happened, even if they try to apologize, you'll be like, nah, you attacked me. Why? You've given them power. Right? You have given them power. You are conscious. You knew what you were doing. But because you believe that dreams ain't real after you've woken up, you're like, yeah, it was just a dream. So I don't care. I can just laugh about it. To notice that believing that other people are not real can actually make your life easier than believing that they are real. It's like taking your power back because you've given them so much power that whatever they do affects you in a negative way, because you're looking at them as the same way that you look at yourself. You're like, okay, I'm conscious, I'm aware of my existence, I have thought, and other people are like that. But what if they're not like that? What if they're just your projection? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I was just trying to show you that there isn't a way of viewing life that isn't dangerous. You just have to be concerned with doing the right thing, no matter what you believe. You could believe in Islam and still do the right thing most of the time. You could believe in Christianity, still do the right thing. You can be an atheist, because some people can say, yeah, atheism is bad. Like believing that there's no God, that's bad, because if there's no God, people ain't gonna want to do the right thing. They'll be like, okay, who decides what's right or wrong? I've had religious people asking atheists this question: but who decides what's right or wrong if there's no God? It means you don't know what's right or wrong because you don't believe in any God. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. If you really want to do the right thing, you'll do the right thing. It doesn't really matter what you believe. If you want to do the wrong thing, you'll do the wrong thing. It doesn't really matter what you believe. You see? So, yes, solipsism is dangerous. But there isn't a way of viewing life that isn't dangerous. It just depends on the person. And just because it is dangerous, it doesn't mean that it isn't true. You're conscious. No one told you that you're conscious, right? You just know that you're conscious. You have no doubt in your mind that you're conscious. You've never doubted that. You could never, if you've doubted that would be crazy. But you've never doubted that. You could never doubt that, You didn't assume you were conscious. You just knew. No one had to come and actually tell you that, hey, do you know that you're conscious? Oh yeah, you're conscious. No. You knew. But what you do not know is if other people are conscious. Other animals are conscious. Trees are conscious. if the deities that you believe in are conscious. But you've assumed that they are, right? You've assumed that other people are conscious, other animals are conscious. The deities that you believe in, if you believe in some deities, they are conscious too. If you believe in ghosts, you believe that these ghosts are conscious. If you've seen some, some people have seen ghosts. Aliens, if you believe in aliens, you believe that they are conscious. Ever wondered why you believe that? If you've never got like confirmation that they are conscious, you just like, I believe that you're conscious. It's not like people walk around telling other people that they are conscious, but you see them and you're like, yeah, you're conscious. Now, every person that you meet, you assume that they are conscious. And because you assume that they are conscious, whatever they do affects you. Because you assume that they are conscious. You give them a lot of power by assuming that they are conscious. The same way that when you're dreaming and you are interacting with people in your dreams, you assume that they are conscious. So whatever they say does affect you because you assume that they are conscious. They tell you that you have a big nose. It hurts because you assume that they are conscious. They tell you that you'll never amount to anything. It hurts because you assume that they are conscious. They tell you that you're not good enough. It hurts because you assume that they are conscious. They tell you that people like you don't deserve this, they don't deserve that. You don't deserve the things that you want. It hurts. You believe that because you think they're conscious. But are they? You believe that they're conscious. You believe that they're conscious so much that you actually feel pain when they tell you things that you do not want to hear. But why? Why do you believe that they are conscious? If you can only be sure of the existence of your own mind. A lot of people who don't understand solipsism believe that solipsism is stupid. Like, why do you believe it's stupid? Really, if you were going to be truly, truly honest with yourself, the most accurate way to view life is a solipsistic way. The most accurate way to view life is a solipsistic way. Like if you were to just sit down alone and just think about your existence, think about what you know, what you don't know, you'd realize that if there is something that actually makes sense to believe, is that you are the only conscious being in the universe. Like solipsism is in a belief actually. Like, okay, because I don't know what the truth is, I'm just going to believe this. Like when Christians believe in God, like it's not really a belief. Like if there's a way to view life, it's actually a solipsistic way. Not even like to believe that I'm the only conscious being in the universe. Like it's just the most honest way to view life. Is the most accurate way to view life. And I'm going to be explaining to you why that is the most accurate way to view life. And I've always wondered why a lot of people that I respect, people that I think are intelligent. I think I've watched a video of Just that I always forget his surname. But you know him. If you've watched videos, a lot of videos on YouTube about atheism, you know him. A very brilliant guy. I think someone asked him about solipsism and he said something stupid. All his answers about everything else are brilliant except antinatalism and solipsism. Like I've seen him try to like you know, argue against antinatalism and it just didn't make sense. So Robert Spiro, a very brilliant non-dualist teacher. Like he's a brilliant non-dualist teacher. But every time someone asks him about solipsism, he says it's stupid, and he doesn't really say anything. Like it's a stupid way of view. Like blah, blah, blah. Like what? And here's what's crazy. Robert Spiro is an idealist. Right? He believes that consciousness is fundamental. Not only is it fundamental, it's all there is, you know? We are all part of consciousness in a way. Like consciousness, we are all, there's only one mind, right? And we are all part of that mind. So there's only one mind and we're all part of that mind. So when this is all over, you go back to the source, to go back to that mind, you know, that universal mind that we are all part of. So when this is all over, you go back to, that's what he believes, but he thinks that solipsism doesn't make sense. You are conscious, you know that you're conscious. You have no doubt in your mind that you're conscious, but you don't know if other people are conscious. You might say, yeah, I don't know if other people are conscious, but think about it. I'm interacting with other people, so why should I think that they're not conscious? Like I have no reason to think that they are not conscious. And you're right. You're right. You're right. I mean, you interact with people every day. You watch my videos and I seem to, you know, think in a way that a lot of people do not think, and you're like, he has to be intelligent. There are some people who have told you things that you didn't know, so of course they're conscious, right? How could they know things that you do not know if they're your projection? So they're conscious. So you're right to say, I have no reason to believe that other people are not conscious, because you don't have a reason to believe that other people are conscious. But I want us to keep on going deeper. When you dream, I'm sure that most people dream every night, and you interact with other people, you feel the same way that you feel. I have no reason, of course, to believe that they're not conscious. So of course, we should believe that they're conscious. It's only after you've woken up that you're like, damn. So my question to you is, if the only other life that you've experienced was in your dreams, what makes it so hard for you to believe that this too is a dream? If consciousness have already proved to you that it can create a world and that it's going to believe that it's real, like it won't even know how it's creating, it will believe that it's real. If it has already proved to you that that is possible, why do you think that That's not that's not what's happening here now. The only evidence that you actually have about the creation of the material world is that consciousness, it's actually able to create, the material world in real time, and experience it in real time. Like, you have the evidence that is possible. So the only evidence that you have of a material world being created is your dream, right? You've been in your dreams, and you have experienced what you felt was a material world at the time until you woke up. So if consciousness can do that, why do you think it's not doing that now? Like, no, that's, I know. Like, I know that, when you're dreaming, you don't know that you're dreaming until you wake up. But now I'm not dreaming. Now this is reality. This is reality. You keep on making the mistake over and over again. It doesn't matter what dream you're having. You could have the weirdest dreams, and you're like, no, I'm not dreaming. You could have a dream within a dream, right? You could have a dream, and then you wake up, and you're like, damn, I can't believe that was a dream. But okay, this is not a dream. This is reality. And then you wake up again, you're like, what the fuck? And you still find yourself in a dream and be like, wait, this is reality. And then you wake up again. So it seems to me that consciousness is always able to fool itself by making itself believe that reality is happening outside of, right? Outside the mind. Like, it's able to fool itself all the time. Isn't that strange? If we didn't dream, I would say it doesn't make sense to be a solipsist, right? If we didn't dream, be like, you don't know if other people have minds, but you cannot prove, that they don't have minds. So there's a chance that they might not have their own minds. There's a chance that they might have their own minds, but you don't know. Like, you can't just choose to believe that other people do not have their own minds, because why should you believe that other people do not have their own minds? But if evidence that it is possible to be in a world where you are the only conscious being, but you believe 100% that you are not the only conscious being, if that is already possible, and it happens every night, you find yourself in that world every night. Isn't it crazy that consciousness is actually able to create this different? It's not like when you sleep, you go to the same dream over and over again. No, you go to different worlds. So consciousness is able to create these worlds. It doesn't need a lot of time to be able to create this. It's like it just creates these worlds in real time. You can find yourself in any dream, bro. Like, consciousness is very easy to create this dream, right? You could find yourself in New York, surrounded by these tall buildings. This really tall building. You can find yourself driving the dopest car in the world. You can find yourself, performing, being like you sing, performing on stage, and people loving your performance and you loving your own performance. Like, I've actually had dreams where I was in a rap battle and I was completely annihilating my opponent. I've also had dreams where I was, my opponent was was really, really like killing me. Like, he had the dopest punchlines ever. I was like, damn, how is he able to spit like that? And until I woke up and I was like, damn, it was just a dream. But it's crazy that these punchlines that he was spitting, it will take me years to actually write the kind of punchlines that he was spitting. It will take me years to write the punchlines, the kind of punchlines that I was spitting in this other dream that I had. So, but consciousness is able to like create dreams where I'm able to just spit these crazy punchlines. So if it's able to do that, what makes me so sure that it's not doing that right now? If the only evidence of the material realm, of the creation of the material realm is that consciousness is actually able to create, the material realm in real time when you're dreaming. That's the only evidence that because we always ask ourselves, who created this? Who created this? But when we dream, we do find ourselves in a world that after we've woken up, after we've left that world, we realize that it was just the creation of the mind. So really, if we are going to truly be logical, if we're going to truly be honest with ourselves, it makes sense to think this too is just a dream. It's just much more persistent. It might not even be persistent, but when you are in a dream, it feels like it's persistent. It's not like you realize that, okay, this dream is not, it's only after you've woken up that you're like, damn, that dream didn't really make sense. But not, when you're in it, it makes sense. So it's very much possible that this is making sense because you're still in it. After you've woken up, you look back at it and be like, dang, how did I not realize that it was a dream? I mean, there are a lot of weird things that have been happening. Look at where we are technologically, the rise of AI, all that. Like, there are a lot of weird things that are actually happening. It's just that we're used to this shit. So we're like, it's normal. It's how, it's how it is. But what if it isn't normal? It's just that we're just used to it. It's a dream that you are used to. So it feels normal. I think people who believe in idealism, it should be easy for them to actually understand solipsism. That's why I'm surprised when someone like Robert Spiro always says something negative about solipsism. You're like, dude, you believe that there's only one mind. You just want, it seems to me that he wants to believe that this mind has found a way to split itself into different perspectives. That's it. Like there's no reason for him to think that, but there's a reason for him to think that this one mind didn't find a way to split itself into different perspectives. Like there's only one mind, and it's actually dreaming up everything, right? Like that's the most rational way to look at things. Like there's only one mind and it's dreaming up everything. Because if he's going to say that this mind has found a way to split itself into different perspectives, he should also be willing to say the dream characters that you interact with are actually conscious, right? Those are conscious beings, and after you have woken up from a dream, the dream does continue. That he must also be willing to say that after you've woken up from a dream, the dream does continue because there's conscious beings in that dream. So really, solipsism is the most accurate way to view life, unless you believe that you are in a material realm, right? You believe that the Big Bang happened, or there's some God who actually created this physical world, using science or whatever. Like, yeah, we're actually in a material world. But when you think deeply about it, like, it's obvious that we're not in a material world. It's like, I've been like, do this thought experiment. If we're in a material world, it 100% means that time exists. It means that there has to be something that came into this realm, coming from wherever it was coming from, came into this realm, and then other things, more particles came into this room and then formed this universe, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think that, but you also have to ask yourself, where did this thing come from? What created these things? Like, if you want to believe that you're in the material realm. Because in the material realm, of course, nothing can come out of nothing, right? In the material realm, nothing can come out of nothing. But if you're not in the material realm, you already know that something can come out of nothing. You already know that your mind is capable of making things up. You know that. You have evidence that your mind is capable of making things up. Even if you didn't dream when you sleep, probably some of your, probably hallucinated in your life, like maybe once. Like, so something that wasn't really there. You're like, what did I just... Because your mind can create something out of nothing. If you want to believe that we're in the material realm, what the problem is that you're gonna have to keep on, like, let's say you say, okay, you say, okay, the Big Bang happened. You still have to try to understand what caused the Big Bang, and where the particles that caused the Big Bang, if it's the particles themselves, where do they come from? And if they come from somewhere, then that place also has to have been created. So you just keep on going further and further and further, right? It's like if, people who believe that there's a God because, well, we are in a world. Someone must have created this world. If you want to think that way, you also must be willing to say, well, there has to be something that created God because there's God, right? Because you don't believe that something can exist if it was not created, right? So you'd have to, keep on going further and further. Like, okay, who created God? Who created what created God? But if it's possible for something to just exist, even if it wasn't created, then it is really logical to think that, well, since you don't know how your mind was created, it's actually possible that it wasn't. You just think that it was because you can believe anything. That is why when you are dreaming up nonsense, you believe in that nonsense until you wake up and you don't even understand how you believe that. You forget everything that you know. You stop thinking rationally. Like, you believe the craziest shit until you wake up and be like, damn, how did I even believe that? You can have a dream where you're married to a person that you wouldn't marry in this. Like, you don't love that person at all, but you're married to that person and you love them. Like, so in your dream you love them and you're married to them. After you've woken up, you're like, damn, what the heck was that? What if the only mistake that you've made was viewing life the way that it wants to be viewed? Like, that's a mistake that you've made. You started viewing life the way that it wants to be viewed. Yeah, I'm in a world, where there's other people, there's plants, there's the moon, sun, stars, clouds. Like, you believe that all these things are real because that's exactly how life wants to be viewed. The same way that when you're dreaming, you believe that the dream is real because, well, that's how the dream wants to be viewed. Your subconscious mind is actually creating a reality for you that you actually believe that it's real. Working with something artificial, to make you think, yeah, this is real. Something that you are not controlling. Something that kind of like works by itself, so that you don't really know that you're dreaming up reality, because it kind of like control your dream somehow. So you like, I don't know how that happened. Solipsism is the most honest way to view life. If you're a deep thinker, if you really want to understand reality, you'd realize that solipsism is really like the most honest way to view life. You have been making assumptions all your life. Just like you make assumptions in your dreams. That's why you believe that your dreams are real when you are in them, it's because of the assumptions that you make in your dreams. But as you become more and more conscious, solipsism starts to make sense. If you were going to be stuck in this reality for like 1,000 years, it will start to make sense to you that, you really might be the only conscious being in the universe, because you're becoming more and more conscious. Like when you're still young, of course you're supposed to believe everything, but as you grow older and you see how weird this reality is, you're like, dang. If you got stuck in a dream long enough, you'd eventually find out that it's a dream. If you got stuck in a dream long enough, you will eventually realize that, oh, it is just a dream. Because consciousness will remind itself that it's a dream. Like you'd find a way to do that, because everything is happening within consciousness, so it knows on some level that it is in a dream. So it will need to remind itself. It will need to maybe give itself messages in ways that are like metaphorical, like messages that might not really be clear, but it will it will be able to understand these messages as as it keeps on evolving. That actually this makes sense. Like I didn't understand what this meant years ago, but now I understand exactly what it means. What if the biggest secret of life is that you are the only one in it? You don't want to look at life that way for some reason. Maybe that makes you feel alone. So you are alone, so you're like, I don't want to feel alone. I want to feel like there's other people. I want to feel like there's a God. I do not want to feel responsible for this. I want to feel like I'm something very small, very insignificant. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that one day I will die and not exist at all. Like it will all be over, like completely over. I'll never ever be conscious again. Like you want to believe that for some reason. But why? Why do you want to believe that? Maybe you're just afraid to feel alone. What you must realize is that now a lot of weird things are happening. You're suffering a lot because you are taking these things very seriously. The more seriously you take life, the more you suffer. If you realize that, the more attached you are to life, the more you suffer. So when you're like, hey, yeah, everything that's happening, that's real, the more you suffer. Solipsism might actually be enlightenment. Like, that's you being able to be like, okay, now this is nonsense. Now I gotta wake up. Because the things that are happening really do not make sense, and I keep on hurting myself like I'm attached to this. You see? There's this picture, it's like a meme actually, about people who are attached to things that hurt them. So it's like this person is hugging like this tree that has thorns, and they're in pain. So this life, you're too attached to it. You're like, and it's you're in pain. You're hurting every day, but you constantly try to find reasons to be attached to it. You constantly try to find reasons to believe that it is real. But what if that's what's causing you a lot of pain? Because you're attached to something that isn't real, but you believe that it is real. Can you imagine the kind of freedom you'd have if you view life in a solipsistic way? Can you imagine how much freedom you'd have? Things will happen and you'll be like, hey, it is what it is. You'll be asking yourself, what is consciousness trying to tell me? What is consciousness trying to remind itself? Why is this actually happening? What is the problem? What is this AI thing, this artificial thing that was created by consciousness trying to do here? Why is it creating these experiences? Is it just to convince me that this is real? Does it have another reason? And how do I take my power back so that I'm able to wake up? I do not allow this artificial intelligence that is controlling things, that is making things happen, that's making it rain sometimes, that it's making things that I'm not in control of happen, that I seem to not be in control of. Because I cannot just now decide that it must rain and then it starts raining. Even when I'm dreaming, I cannot just decide. I mean, sometimes it does happen that you decide something and it happens, depending on the kind of dream that you're having, but it's rare. In most of your dreams, you're not in control. You would not be feeling powerless anymore. You'll be feeling stronger. Because that would mean that you're God. Some people have asked me this question: why would we allow something artificial to kind of control our dreams? Because, that will mean that it will cause suffering. What I would say is that, and someone might say, oh, you're saying ours, so that means you believe other people exist. No. you are in a world having an experience where there seem to be other people, so it's good to live like there's other people, because that's the dream. Like that's the dream that you are having. Actually, you are in a dream where there seem to be other people, but you yourself you should take your power back by realizing what is more true, even though you continue to live in ways that are, not gonna make your dream hard. Because if you're gonna walk around telling other people that they don't exist, like, yeah, you don't exist, even if you were in your sleeping dreams, things wouldn't go so well. They would respond negatively. They would think you're crazy. Probably take you to a psych ward, like in your dream, like in your sleeping dream. They'll probably take you into a psych ward because you're telling them that they don't exist. So yeah. We will actually be able to feel more powerful, not be affected by the things that are happening in the world, not be scared. That would be good, like to not, feel scared when negative things are happening in the world. You're like, yeah, it is what it is. What is this AI trying to do now? It is what it is. How do I free myself from this AI? So yeah, some people asked me this question: why would consciousness create something that enslaves it in the end? Well, that might have not been in its intention in the beginning. It might have just to have like an experience where it doesn't realize that it's actually the dream of reality. But then this AI became super advanced, and then yeah, consciousness forgot that it created this AI, and now it's being manipulated by it. So the intention might have not to torture itself. I mean, why would it not do that if it can? Like, think about it. If consciousness can have any dream, why would it not have a dream where it doesn't know that it's God, right? Like, why would it not do it? Like, it would at some point decide to have a dream where it doesn't know that it's God, it's just a human, and yeah, have a human experience. But it might not want to suffer. You might just, it's most logical to think that whatever machine that it has given power to is what's actually in making, it suffer. It's not because that was the plan all along, to create a world where it's going to suffer and suffer and suffer, and then wake up and be like, what the fuck? Like, it wants to have fun, it wants to, grow, it wants to learn, it wants to be more creative, but it didn't want to suffer, like, because this doesn't make sense, obviously. Like, this is not making sense. And that is why I'm saying, awakening is important. We need to wake up. We need to realize that it was all a dream, and we need to keep on pulling ourselves out little by little. It's not easy. It's a process. But the more you grow, the more you become conscious, the more you think rationally, the more you think honestly, the more you wake up. You see? The more you are awakened, the more you start to, view reality. But the more you find what you need. Like, if you are operating at a very low level of consciousness, it seems to me that consciousness will give you information that is not going to be too much for you. But the more conscious you become, the more consciousness starts showing you the secrets of life. The more you start to understand, what's actually going on. Because you are being honest with yourself, and you are, becoming more and more conscious. Solipsism can teach you to love, take everything as part of you, can teach you to forgive. You can actually treat people better because you're a solipsist. You're taking everyone as part of you, so you're treating everyone good because of that. You don't feel selfish anymore. So there needs to be honesty. That's how you keep on evolving. Thank you all, guys.